Hello, Firestarters. Coach Shy here, and I'm here with our word of the week. Last week, our word was boundaries. Boundaries, and that was all about narrowing the scope, putting our guardrails in place, teaching people how to treat us. This week's word is capacity, which is all about enlarging and making room for more. Capacity. I couldn't wait to talk about this word. Capacity is the ability to hold or contain people or things, or the largest amount or number that can be held or contained. So it's essentially how much can be held in a container or a vessel. It's the largest amount that can be contained. Okay, so think about it like this. I years ago stopped carrying a purse. Number one, because I always left them behind, but also because I noticed that no matter how large the purse I carried, I would fill it to capacity and even to overflowing. So it could be a little over the shoulder, you know, little purse like this, or it could be a giant handbag. And I would have that thing stuffed with gym clothes and a pair of sneakers and a notebook and all kinds of stuff. And I realized that no, it didn't matter the size of the bag. I was going to fill it to capacity. I was going to fill it to overflowing. Even now, my purse has been reduced down to a simple card holder on the back of my cell phone. And this was designed to hold no more than 4 cards. Well, I have 6 in here, and this is a good day, right? So the only way to increase capacity would be to remove something, right? To make room. You can make room by eliminating some things and instantly create capacity. You're essentially creating a void here and opening up space to receive, or you can get a larger vessel, right? So I could get a card holder that holds 12 cards, or I could go back to a case that holds my phone and holds my cards, right? I could get a larger vessel. So those are really the only 2 ways that you can actually build capacity. So what's the big deal? Like, what's the big deal about the word capacity? Well, so often we are found quoting scriptures that talk about God opening up the windows of heaven and pouring out such blessing that we have not room enough to receive. Well, what does that really mean? What that really means is he is going to pour out to our capacity based upon where we are as individuals. So my capacity may be very different from where you are. You may have the faith to believe for, 10-gallon bucket size capacity, and I might have a little teacup. And God, whatever that is, he's going to fill my teacup to overflowing, and he will fill your 10-gallon bucket to overflowing. And so that's why it's going to vary from person to person. And the only way to shake that up is to get a larger vessel. Or sometimes we need to take some things out in order to make room for what he is doing. So if you think about it like this, think about it like if you were to go to your kitchen and get every single bowl, pot, glass, cup, every vessel that you own, and you turn on the water, right? And you could just keep filling, fill up your whole counter, your whole island with all of these different vessels full of water. Well, guess what? Once you filled up every single thing that you owned, that water would still keep flowing, right? Essentially, you've just run out of capacity to hold it. So if you think about God like that faucet, right? His ability to give and his ability to bless is limitless. It's only limited by the number of vessels or the size of the vessel we have to contain it, which in this case is ourselves. We have to enlarge ourselves. We have to enlarge our capacity to believe that God will bless us in the way that we're asking him to. And we do that first by giving, right? Give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down. If you're pressing it down, you're making room for more. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over shall men give into thy bosom, right? And pouring into your lap. So that again is a capacity thing. You're not just getting back what you received, but you got to push that down to make room for more. And again, it's a capacity thing, but also opening ourselves up with gratitude. If you are hating on all your friends who got married this year, there's a real good chance your date's not coming up anytime soon because you're blocking your flow, right? You're closing off your capacity to receive the one that God has for you because you're hating on everybody else. Well, how do you enlarge yourself in that space? You start to express gratitude for the deservingness of everybody else. God, I'm so grateful that she found a good man. God, I'm so grateful that my brother is happy and he's married and, with a wife who loves him, right? You start to celebrate the deservingness of others, even the ones who have what you want and don't have right now. That promotion at work, that new car, like whatever it is, it doesn't have to be a material thing. What I'm saying is we have to enlarge ourselves with how we give, how we believe, and how we express gratitude. Wayne Dyer is famous for saying, you don't want to bring a teacup to the ocean, right? The ocean is vast and it is limitless. And no matter how much you took out of it, the ocean would just keep right on coming. And so if you think about it like that, if you think about it like, if you're coming before God and you're saying, God, I want you to open the windows of heaven and pour out such blessing that I have not room enough to receive, right? He's going to fill over to overflowing whatever kind of vessel you are right now. And if you're looking for him to bring more into your life, you are going to have to enlarge yourself. And in some cases, you are going to have to remove some things. You're going to have to remove some bitterness. You're going to have to remove some resentment. You're going to have to remove some unforgiveness, things that are blocking your flow, things that are taking up the space that God would want to fill with good things. If you want your cup to runneth over, that's a great place for you to start. So capacity, what is your capacity right now? And are there any places in your life where you need to enlarge yourself? Are there any places in your life where you need to make room for God to bless you? Something to think about. Until next week, I'm Coach Shy with your word of the week. Have an amazing week.